Consumer Electronics Show 2025. Chris Benjamin is here. He's the Chief Design Officer, Scout, this brand new car company. It's a bold time when car companies are going out of business. You guys buy this iconic brand named Scout. I think you've done the best job of any automaker of creating what if I see that going down the road, I'm gonna go, that's the new Scout. So congratulations, first of all, great job.
Thanks so much. Certainly one of the key things that we wanted to do with these vehicles is tie into the heritage and play on that, because when you are a startup, but you have a heritage that you can pull from, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing that we have going for us is like our community of supporters that love everything that we're doing, and we want to make sure that we pay homage to the things that excite them as well.
Yeah. I actually had a Scout like this. It was a diesel. I think it was a 1980 Scout, and I loved it. And all of a sudden the Scouts were like coming along, and then I heard the announcement and I was like, no way. And
That's
because
right.
to me, the Bronco looked more like a Scout than it did a Bronco.
Right.
But you made a Scout that looks like a Scout. But then there's also now a pickup version. But can we talk about the Scout? And it is an electric vehicle that has an onboard generator. So it's a kind of a hybrid. I mean, I like this idea, by the way, because I don't like range anxiety.
Yep.
And this gives me the ability to take a trip and be able to put gasoline in and keep going. But talk about the drivetrain and all this.
I mean, yeah, so first of all, the two vehicles, obviously we've got the SUV Traveler and we have the pickup truck, the Terra. With both of them, we wanted to play on a lot of the cues that made Scout famous in the first place. For example, if you look at the side view of the Traveler, you'll see we have this very iconic DLO graphic from the Scout 2, actually. This kick-up that happens is very significant, and I think from the side view, it's one of the first things you notice after you notice the proportion and how it's all put together, where the volumes lay relative to the wheels. Pickup truck, same thing. We did something cool with that, where all of the weight is also shifted to the rear, but there are certain little things that we could do. For example, on the side of the pickup bed, there's this little flick on the side that is reminiscent of the Scout 80.
Yeah.
And the tie is important to us because even the way we've done the colors, if you look at the Terra and you look at the Traveler, even the color scheme is based on Scout's heritage. So, for example, the first Scout ever produced was a Scout 80, was a pickup truck, and it was blue, it was a bright blue.
Yeah.
And that's what we fashioned our Terra after.
Right.
And we wanted to also on the Traveler fashion that after the last Scout ever made, which was the Scout 2, and it was done in Tahitian red. So, this kind of like heritage reimagined, doing something that looks and feels cool, but also has a familiarity to it, and will get the enthusiast community like super excited about it.
So when I first heard that it was going to be an all-electric vehicle, I was like, oh, all electric. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's got an onboard generator, which is, GM did this with one of their vehicles. And I thought it was great. I have friends that owned them. They're like, yeah, you get the best of both worlds. Talk about that whole thought about making an electric vehicle.
Yeah, well, because when you think about how people use their vehicles, right? And anyone that's ever driven an electric vehicle, they love the way they drive. It's quiet, instant torque, all of those things that are great. What they don't like is trying to figure out where to charge if they're like, for example, on a road trip.
Yeah.
So we thought about that, and we thought about how we want our customers to use their vehicles, and we wanted to eliminate that range anxiety.
I love it.
And so with the range extender, which we call them the harvesters, only recharges the batteries, right? It never drives the wheels.
Right.
So that's the great thing. It always drives and feels
It's a
like an electric
consistent
vehicle.
feel.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And every now and then you might hear the engine, which is...
I don't think you will hear it.
Really?
It's in the back.
in the back.
It's in the back.
It's in the back.
Under the floor.
Unbelievable.
And the reason we did that is because one of the other great things about EVs is the extra convenient storage of the frunk.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we didn't
Front
want
trunk,
to. We didn't want to take away from that. So it's the trunk in the front.
By the way, I think you did a great job of giving this an animated look. Like I'm looking at the roof rack on it, which is bigger, puffier, kind of more stout looking.
Yep.
I see it's got a huge opening cloth sunroof.
Yep.
I mean, you've added things to it, but the big wheels and tires and the lines of it are animated. Is that a good way to put it? I mean, you're an artist, so
You could say that. I mean, what I'll say is this, that we wanted to make sure that we could focus on the things that created interest. So the major, like if you stand back and you look at the side view of the vehicle,
Yeah.
there's only one line. It's this one, this lower break
Yeah.
in the surface. That's the only line on the
Everything
side
is
of the vehicle,
smooth, yeah.
right? Everything is sculpted softer because that's how Scouts were fashioned. And that allows us to then focus on certain elements where we want to create interest. The only thing protruding on the side are the door handles. So we wanted to make
Nice
sure that
beefy door handles too, like the beefy roof rack. I mean, you
simple
can do
things
something.
that make it easy to use, easy to function.
Let's talk
We made
about
sure
the
that we
inside too.
incorporated
I'm
that.
looking at the inside now for the first time up close. This is a concept vehicle that we're looking at right now. It looks like it's ready to go. I could see this in a showroom right now.
It is ready to go.
Oh wow! And but not going to go on sale till 27 or late 26.
No, I mean, when I say is ready to go, what I mean is just from a surfacing perspective, from
Right.
a design perspective.
you've already signed off on it.
Yeah, I mean, we say that these are about 85% production intent.
Wow.
And that's the whole thing. We wanted to make sure we did something that was relevant.
Yeah.
Because when we do launch the production vehicles, we want all of the customers that put down a reservation to see the production vehicle and go,
That's what I
hell
want.
yeah, that's what I ordered.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Also thinking about heritage and how you reimagine it. This upper brow
Yeah.
is very clean, horizontal.
Yes, it
It's got
is.
this very deep undercut.
Yeah.
And then we've got this grab bar that goes underneath. And so those two elements frame the instrument panel and allow you to, capture both of the screens
Yeah.
and organize them in a cool way. And then
I
on the
love
tactile switches.
The mechanical looking toggles
Yeah.
on the steering wheel.
We wanted to make sure all of the controls were
Yeah.
super beefy and
Yeah.
easy to use.
It's a brawny machine. I love it, love it, love it. It's about 60 grand.
Yep.
And how much would this one, if I said I want that one, is this a upgraded one that has bigger wheels and tires?
All of them will have a pretty similar look. What we're trying to make sure is that even the entry vehicle has strength and appeal to it. So wheels and tires, for example,
Yeah.
these are 35s.
Yep.
We will offer 34-inch tires
Yeah.
as well. These would be, for example, with the off-road package.
Yeah.
So you'd get the 35-inch tires, you'd
Right.
get the
Big-
tire carrier on
Yeah,
the back,
yeah.
right?
Well, I got to tell you, it's beautiful, man. And I'm so glad you're involved with it, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Golly, man. I tell you what, I think I'm going to have to put my name on one.
Please
All
do.
right? Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by.
Congratulations. I think you guys all need to go check out the new Scout. They make a truck and an SUV. Go look at them for yourself. I think they're awesome. All right, we're going to take a break and be right back with more from CES.